We're good to go.
Yep, all set.
Welcome everyone to the Town of Pownell's regular select board meeting, May 11th, 2023 at 6:01 PM. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Board member roll call.
Angie Rawling.
Jamie Percy.
Brian Harris.
Mike Gardner. Approval of the agenda. Public comment, approval of minutes of April 27th, March 23rd, and April 27th. Accounts payable and payroll. Correspondence, excess weight permits, Green Mountain Racetrack update from the State of Vermont Division of Fire Safety, town designated keeper of legal records, discussion approval, domestic animal ordinance, further review, public comment, executive personnel discussion regarding public official, possible action taken, executive personnel discussion with a public official, possible action taken. We need to add an executive after that for legal, public comment, and adjourn.
Make a motion to accept with the change.
Second.
Any discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Angie.
Aye.
Oh,
We don't have to.
Not till Bobby.
So Bob comes in.
That's right. Hannah, is there any public comment? I have one public comment, actually. I'm not sure it falls under public comment. It could fall under correspondence. Let's put it under correspondence. Never mind. Sorry. Approval of minutes, April 27th, 2023, select board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, corrections, additions, deletions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Minutes of March 23rd, 2023, special sewer commission meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on that, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Minutes of April 27th, 2023 sewer commission meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Accounts payable, May 5th, 2023, $18,108.45.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Accounts payable, New Town Hall, May 6th, 2023, $22,944.13.
So moved.
Second.
Questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable, May 12th, 2023, $11,186.52.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Payroll, May 5th, 2023, $11,139.11.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain. Payroll, May 12th, 2023, $10,556.66.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Correspondence.
Okay, so I have a couple. The first is from Donna Lozon. She just asked me to remind people of the fire danger levels. Although we are not in a burn ban currently, it is still very dry, and things like flicking cigarettes or leaving your campfires burning can be very, very dangerous. And our firefighters have been really stretched trying to deal with some of the current recent issues. So just please be mindful and remind, friends, family, neighbors of the same.
I'm surprised we're not, because we are at high.
I know.
Throughout the whole state.
I asked Craig this morning, Ellen and I did, and he said, no, we're in that small little section that isn't in a burn ban, but
Yeah.
it's risky still.
Yep.
So the other correspondence it's basically a survey that the town of Pownell is going to be putting out or distributing. It's from the Vermont Healthy Communities Technical Assistance Program. Jennifer Boucher and I have been working on this. Jennifer's from Parks and Rec. And it basically focuses on the needs and the wants of our community. And it's looking at Pownell Center and how to develop it, or what we could add or bring in that would be appreciated by our community, or really useful. So the survey, it does appear long, but it's just pretty big print. It's gonna be available electronically. I'll try to send it out, put it on our Facebook, our website. And Angie also suggested sending it to the school to distribute, which is a great idea. I will also be attempting to collect survey answers at Fishing Derby, and I think Jennifer's gonna set up at Spring Fest on Saturday at the school, so.
Nice.
If anybody wants to help spread the word, that would be great, and we have paper copies available of the survey also.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all you have?
Yes.
I have one thing for correspondence and I don't want to act on it tonight, but I want you guys to think about it. It's something I wanted to do, this whole, after I got elected, chairperson of the board again. I'd like to, before we start our meetings, I'd like to say pledge of allegiance to the flag.
That's awesome.
That's
So
awesome.
I would.
I'm all for it.
We'll put it on the agenda
Okay.
for next meeting. Because it's not on there tonight and I don't want to be, I don't want to get in any trouble for doing things the wrong way. So I'd like to put it on for the next meeting, to discuss it and vote on that. Thank you.
Everybody, my apologies for being late. Just was caught up at work. I just want to let you know I'm here. And I had an idea about putting the Pledge of Allegiance before each.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
And Angie's very
Excess weight permits.
We have two, one from Gurney Brothers Construction and one from Miles Lumber Co. Both are leaks and both have been reviewed and approved by Joel, the road foreman.
What's your pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on those? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Nice job.
Bob, aye.
Brian, aye.
Mike, aye. Okay. Brings us to the Green Mountain Racetrack update from the State of Vermont Division of Fire and Safety. Are we gonna put this whole packet on our website? Can we do that? Okay. So it's a pretty extensive packet. I'm gonna go through this and I'm gonna hit some bullet points. I'll read some of them totally from start to finish. And we'll go from there. Unfortunately, it's not great news. April 24th, 2023, from the State of Vermont Division of Public Safety. It's addressed to Stephen Solar, Allison Solar, Stockbridge Realty Advisors LLC, Green Mountain Racetrack LLC, Pownell, Vermont. Reference on the grandstand building, 7012 US Route 7, Pownell, Vermont, structure ID 6652. I'm not gonna go through that stuff every time when I read these because they're all on there.
Right.
Just wanted to clear what we're talking about. Attached to this letter are findings, dear Stephen Solar and Allison Solar. Attached to this letter are findings and orders issued by the Vermont Department of Public Safety pursuant to 20 VSA 2733. These findings and orders require you to secure the property listed above with a 6-foot-high industrial-type fence with no trespassing signage affixed to the fencing at 50-foot intervals. We recommend you coordinate with emergency responders regarding the construction of the fence because they will need access to the structure in an emergency. The findings and orders also require you to have the structure evaluated by a Vermont licensed structural engineer, submit a report to our Rutland Regional Office. Included with these findings and orders are previously undeliverable administrative penalties issued for failing to comply with securing the structure. Upon review of the structural engineering report, further enforcement action may be considered. These orders are necessary to enforce the provisions of law regarding the maintenance of premises, prevention of fires, and protection of the public in Chapter 173 of Title 20. Failure to comply with these orders within the time specified may subject you to additional enforcement action pursuant to 20 VSA 2734, including injunction relief and financial penalties. Please contact Michael DeRosa, Executive Director, Division of Fire Safety, with any questions about this matter. Jennifer Morrison, Commissioner, Vermont Department of Public Safety. Mr. and Mrs. Solar, please find attached to this email a PDF file containing several documents relating to your property at 7012. These documents include a cover letter from the Commissioner of the Vermont Department of Public Safety, 2 prior citations, the Vermont Division of Fire Safety's fire inspection results, findings and orders relating to your panel property, and the Division of Fire Safety's rules for administrative citations and penalties. Please confirm you receive these documents as soon as possible. We will also attempt to mail these documents to you. Please note that if you do not confirm receipt of these documents, we may seek a service of them through other means. We are concerned about the safety risk posed by the large structure on your property. We want to discuss ways to address that risk with you. Please contact us as soon as possible to address these concerns. And there's a phone number. There's a certified letter that was sent to Mr. Solar on 5/17/2022 with facts and findings on it.
Do you mean 23 or?
No, it says 22.
Okay,
Yeah, and it's crossed out with another date on it.
okay.
So, yeah, it has to be. We haven't got to the 17th yet.
Oh, that's true.
So, good question though.
So it's been ongoing, and I actually spoke to Alex Steele, who gave me an update, I believe it was last week. He said that Mr. Solar has been served, but he has not accepted the packet yet, which is what's been happening. He's avoiding accepting the delivery of the packet.
That's what's been happening.
This one here, this is a fine of $1,000. Big deal. This is a report from the Division of Fire and Safety. This is a violation notice. Vacant buildings must be secured and storage removed. It's basically everything that we've said all along that's been going on. There's pedestrians walking from the site towards the north, private railroad crossing. Building is completely open. There's no security fencing available. No work is in progress to secure the building. The date of this is, why am I not seeing the date on this one? Why am I not seeing the date here?
The one from Division of Fire Safety,
Yeah, this one from the.
bottom right-hand corner. It's like on the footer.
Oh, yep, sorry, Brian, you're absolutely right, 5/17/22. So that's a duplicate. The structural report, that's in here, just explaining how to fire and what the building construction was. This one here is, it explains the authority, it explains the building description, the grandstand building inspection overview, which happened, between August 9th, 2005, September 17th, 2020. Numerous inspections conducted. They can be characterized as routine with normal findings for both outdoor and indoor public use. So this is all prior to the fire. This is just a timeline of things that have happened down there, tent permit application. I'm not gonna go through this whole thing. So this is, it goes into after the fire on September 16th, 2020. Report of the fire was received at 11 PM for the main racetrack building. Assistant Fire Marshal Stanley Baranowski conducted the fire investigation, and there's a case number. September 17th, Regional Manager Gerald Garrow, GJ Garrow, and Assistant State Fire Marshal Matt Jacobowski visited the site at 10:30, Fire investigators believed it was safe enough to enter the structure for purposes of conducting an internal inspection. At 1 p.m., Gerald Vizina, PE of the division's USAR team, arrived on site to conduct a rapid assessment of the structure. Mr. Vizina indicated the building is not safe and recommended boarding it up to prevent people from entering or demolish it. Signs were posted identifying the building as unsafe and prohibiting access to the structures. And then it goes on, G.J. Garrow notified Stephen Solar that the grandstand building shall be secured to prevent trespassing as cited under NFPA 1, Section 10.12.1, 2015 edition. Mr. Solar was also on notice for securing the building and notifying the Rutland Regional Office with his plan of corrective action. December 17th, 2021, complaint of unsafe and unsecured building received from Pownell resident. April 4th of 22, Assistant Fire Marshal Steele conducted an exterior walk-around inspection survey of the premises per request of Regional Manager G.J. Garrow. It was noted at the time of this walk-around inspection and survey, pedestrians were walking from the west to east at the time of inspection. No evidence of work was in progress to fence or secure the building from trespassing. Numerous walls and interior components of combustible material remain available at the corners of the building. Large amounts of debris and plate glass litter the site, evident in nearly all exterior walls and surface. May 17th and August 3rd, 2022, an administrative penalty for violations of NFPA 1, Section 10.12.1. Administrative penalties were assessed and delivered via certified mail to the address on file for Stockbridge Realty Advisors, LLC. The fines were not accepted after several attempts. These are the findings per NFPA. The structure is in a state of disrepair and poses a significant hazard to the general public. Building has a 4-story glass panel exterior wall assembly once used for occupant viewing of racing. The wall assembly is so badly damaged around the front of the structure. The wall assembly is so badly damaged and structurally compromised that many glass panels have fallen out and landed on the ground around the front of the structure. Due to the size and height of the structure, the falling glass can be found up to 50 feet from the building. Anyone passing by this area could be seriously injured or killed by falling glass, debris, and panels. A building deemed unsafe by the authority having jurisdiction, which is AHG, requires the owner, operator, or occupant of the building to abate the hazard through a plan of corrective action approved by the AHJ. The hazardous conditions causing the building to be unsafe can be either repaired or rehabilitated or may be demolished to abate the hazard. NFPA, again, 2015 edition, the building has been vacant for several years and the condition of the building is deteriorating at a rapid pace. All the structural components are now exposed to the weather elements, including wind. Vacant buildings must be secured and fuel load removed. The building is not secured and there is fuel load inside the structure. Again, this is the work order. I've already gone through that. He's ordered to, I'm not going to go through all of it. He's ordered to secure the perimeter by installing a 6-foot high fence. The fence must be anchored and secured. The location of the fencing shall consider the fall zone of the glass. The fence shall be provided with signage on safe structure. No trespassing by order of the Commissioner of Public Safety. The fence shall be completed by May 30th of 2023. Sure. Building must be evaluated by a Vermont licensed structural engineer by May 30th of 2023. Report shall be specific to the structural stability, collapse potential, and any other hazard mitigation recommendations. A copy of the report shall be submitted to the Division of Fire Safety, Rutland Regional Office by June 15th upon review of June 15th of 2023. Upon review of the report, additional enforcement action orders may be forthcoming. Failure to comply with this order may result in additional enforcement action, including injunctive relief, financial penalties pursuant to 20 VSA 2734, dated 27th day of April 2023, Jennifer Morrison. And then this is rules for Administrative citations and penalties, I don't think we need to get into all that. That's the whole, kind of a whole different,
State level.
pertains to everything. It's just gonna save a lot of time because it's just a lot of verbiage that it explains the fines, it explains a lot of stuff in here that doesn't pertain, excuse me, to this situation. So that's it in a nutshell. I'd like to get the board's feeling. I have some feelings on this. What we need to do as a board to take some next steps, but I'd like to get some feelings and ideas from you guys.
Well, first of all, on the report, it doesn't say anything about the air quality or asbestos or anything, right? Because some people are very concerned about that. But it's basically just the deterioration of the building and the safety. Okay.
That's just to secure the building. I'm sure when the
Right.
demolition order comes, then that's when they're gonna worry about the
Right.
asbestos and lead.
Yeah, somewhere did mention that as far as, and I can't remember if it was this report or one previous.
I just
As far
know,
as, their, how they had to take and go about demoing the building.
quite a few residents are worried about that.
Justifiably so.
Yes.
Biggest thing, people still going in there and, cause they've got access, somebody's gonna get hurt. I mean, we've said that right along, that eventually somebody's gonna get seriously hurt, injured on this.
At the beginning of that, Mike, I think you said that there was something, and maybe I misunderstood. I thought it was that the town had to do something to get a structural report. Is that correct?
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, I believe it
State
said
order.
solar needs to hire someone.
Okay, all right.
Steven Solar, yep, sorry. So Steven Solar needs to have a structural report done, not the town.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, great. Great.
Yeah.
Have to submit it to the state.
And that just came down, or was that reading something that was, a couple of years old?
Oh, it just came down,
This letter here from the State of Vermont Department of Public Safety is dated April 24th, 2023.
Right, so that's a new order to
Yeah.
the owners of the racetrack to get a structural report to the state of Vermont, or to our fire and safety. And then, okay, I just wanted to make sure that was a new order and that
So-
we've got
And
new
the security.
life in this.
Right, so, the new order is due by
15th, right?
May 30th, by the end of this month.
That was the fencing also, right?
The fencing is due by May 30th, the 6-foot high industrial fence, secured, anchored and secured is, shall be completed by May 30th of 2023. And then. the
And that
building-
order, I'm sorry, and that order came out in April of
Yeah.
2023.
This order right here that I'm reading from Jennifer Morrison is dated 27th day of April, 2023.
Okay, I got you. Thank
And
you.
then the building must be evaluated by a licensed structural engineer by May 30th. And the evaluation, the report must be submitted by June 15th of 2023.
Okay.
Any more comments or questions or,
Unfortunately, the state's running into the same problem that
The town.
we did
Yeah.
when we attempted to order health orders, the whole 9 yards prior to the
Yeah.
fire and even after the fire. So I don't know what our,
I don't think there's anything we as a town can do at this point.
well, I think to a certain degree, you're right, Brian. I think to a certain degree, you're absolutely right. But I think, and this is just my feelings on this, I think we've dubbed around with this long enough. And I think our Rutland Division of Fire and Safety, I think those guys have busted their butts to try and rectify this problem. I think GJ Garrow and Matt Jacobowski
Yep.
and Mike DeRosa and Michael Steele and everyone that's been involved in our Rutland office, our local regional office, has done everything that they can to, and I think this order kind of goes against what they had sent us, that they recommended. I think as a town, I think we reach out. I think we reach out to our first responders. I think we reach out to our fire departments. I think we reach out to our sheriff's department. I talk because there are contracted, at this time, there are contracted law enforcement. I think we reach out to the Vermont State Police if they want to get involved. I think we compile some letters to the state fire commissioner, to Jennifer Morrison. From our fire, each one of our fire departments in the rescue squad. From Craig Odell is our
Emergency,
he's our emergency management coordinator. He's also our forest fire warden in town. I think we compose a letter from the select board about how dissatisfied. Now, I'm not sure what it's gonna do. It's probably nothing.
Can we
go
go
to the
above?
Secretary of State.
Can I ask?
Sure, Bob.
Oh, I just want to make the suggestion. One is we're kind of between a rock and a hard place here, because if we start taking action, then suddenly the liability for that property moves from the state to the town. And the remediation moves from the state to the town, and we don't want that to happen. What I would suggest is go down the path that I like the idea of getting the statements, but let's have an executive session with our town attorney and ask him what are our real options and what are the liabilities on each of the options, right? Because we are going to take on some exposure in order to be able to affect any change down there. Just down the path of as soon as we stick our toes in there, then it suddenly becomes our responsibility, and we want to avoid that, but we also want to know, do we have a lawsuit capability? What are the pros? What are the cons? Those kinds of questions. I think we need to probably be in an executive session with our town attorney and ask him and just ask some advice on how we can expedite something here. Because you're just ignoring it appears that they're just ignoring the state and the town.
Well, I think Mike's on the right track, and to add to it, if we're sending it to the Department of Fire Safety and with concerns from our local services, as well as the town, health officer, zoning, whatever, and ask them if we should jointly with fire and safety move it toward, is it possible to elevate this to the Attorney General's office or Secretary of State to take and see if we can get more teeth in it?
Yeah.
That way we're working
exactly.
jointly with the services.
I agree, Jamie, and I agree, Mike. I think that those are good steps, but I just want to make sure that we're engaging our town attorney as well, to make sure we're covering ourselves, and he can probably, he might have some advice for us on how we can put more teeth into it.
No, I think, like I said, I wanna commend our Rutland division that works down here all of the time. Those guys have worked, and girls, have worked extremely hard on this for us. It seems like it's been dragged on forever. I do know they've worked, Angie and I went down there, I don't even remember when, and we met with them, and, we've been in contact with them. I just think, and I agree with you, Bob, let's make sure we're not gonna incur any liability by doing that, but if we can just send some letters of dissatisfaction to the a little higher up in our Rutland office, because I'm sure I know GJ pretty well. I'm sure GJ's pretty dissatisfied with the whole process himself. I'm sure of that.
I'm sure that's true, and I think they've been great partners. They've been they've done a lot to help us out. It's just we're not getting any response, and they're not getting any response from the owners. They ran into the same roadblock we did. It's time. I think we all agree it's time to escalate.
I'm curious to hear from them, like, at what point will they order a demolition? Because if they just.
Doesn't sound
ignore
like
the
they're
state-
at that point. So they're like-
Yeah, that's what,
I think they need
Which
that.
frustrates me, and I know our residents are frustrated and I know, look, we're frustrated as a board. There's, it's not like we're dragging our laurels on this. We're frustrated. We had some information given to us a few months ago that sounded really super positive, and then all of a sudden, here you are back in this corner.
yeah, it's like, hey, put up the fence that you were told to put up the first time and didn't do it.
Yeah, and you're gonna get fined $1,000 for it. Whippy.
Yeah.
Right? Holy smokes.
And they told us they were doing it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Years
So,
ago.
Right.
We all know the feelings of the Rutland office because they made it pretty clear. They were pretty much on board with I believe the opinion of this board before it was sent up, and then it went to the state board above them. And this is the answer that we all received, including them.
So let's schedule that we can do it for our next regular meeting rather than, have a special.
Executive or.
An executive with Bob, with Bob Fisher, if he can come with that specifically, and we can make it a specific executive just for the racetrack. That's fine. I just think we should discuss it in executive because it is a legal matter, so.
And if anybody knows Mr. Solar personally, please let him know we are trying to reach him.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have anything else on that? I just wanted to speak on that for a minute. Thank you. Town designated keeper of legal records, discussion and approval.
So that's pretty much self-explanatory. I guess there was a policy before we started that there be a designated keeper of legal records, documents, to protect anybody involved in the legal cases, the board, and to protect everyone. My understanding is that you designate a person or two people, and that you would need permission of the full board to be able to view those records. So I just need you all to, I would assume it'd be Hannah and myself, are now the keeper of legal records, so I just need you to hopefully approve that, make a motion and approve.
It's pretty cut and dry as far as I'm concerned.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Hannah and Tara the keeper of the public records.
I'll second.
Should we,
I'd say public legal, the legal documents
Oh,
specifically,
legal records.
yes. Yeah.
okay. And I have a motion and I have a second. Any more discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Brian, I.
Mike, aye. Easy.
Yep.
Domestic animal ordinance further review.
So that I sent back to Leonard before I sent to you all again, and the lawyer also has it. So, Mr. Fisher, I was on the phone with him earlier and he's been really busy. He's like, I'm not ignoring you guys. And there were some corrections he wanted to see made on definitions. So I will be bringing it back to the next meeting, but before if you have any suggestions or additions, corrections that you would like to see before I bring it back to the next meeting, now's the time to let me know. Okay.
I will have some, and I had some problems with the definitions as well.
The definitions, because they should match the statutes more specifically. I was just trying to include the chickens and free range animals and the domestic pet it's kind of yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well, yeah, I think,
yeah, you had added that, but below that, I think one or two, maybe half a paragraph below that, you've got a definition of pet, domestic pet also, which I think kind of puts it all together.
Yeah, I don't know if it puts it
It's right
together,
here.
it's more confusing, I'm not
I
sure.
think domestic animal means any domestic pet, and then it as defined, and it seems like an expansion. It seems like to me, a huge expansion
It's poultry.
of the position, because it brings in cattle, sheep, deer, swine, as
Anything
well
that
as
could be
chicken.
kept as a pet.
And it's,
But if you have a pet chicken that you let run around to your house, you put a diaper on it, it's your pet.
Or if you have a water.
well, I think we need to
Pet.
think, I think we need to be careful about expanding the role, right? Overall, this is a huge expansion of the role of animal control for the town of Pownell. And I think we need to be very careful of that. We're rapidly expanding a department and making it, I believe, more than it ought to be. There were a couple of other issues I had in there. So I will send in my comments on it.
Okay. And just so that everyone is aware, apparently Leonard has been dealing with multiple occasions of something to do with chickens being an issue. So that is why I tried to include that.
Well, that fell under the free range
Yeah,
thing, if
so
I remember.
Yeah, we can definitely tweak that and
Yep.
narrow it down some.
I know up north, there's people that have 2 fallow deer as pets. So
Well,
I'm just saying,
people can have anything as pets, alligators or whatever, I don't know.
right.
Right?
That's,
So,
Right, and you wouldn't want you don't really want any animal owned by someone leaving
look,
their
at
property.
people have snakes for pets, and I can tell you what I'm gonna do with a snake every time I see it.
Me
okay?
too.
Want it in your yard.
Give me a shovel, but whatever, I'm not a snake lover, but some people love them, and God bless them for loving that, and snakes out in the wild and eating bugs and mice and whatever are wonderful. As
But
long as I
that's-
don't see them.
Exactly. I agree.
But that's why we keep bringing it back and going back and forth. That's why we keep working on it to get it where you guys want it, so.
Public comment, any public comment, Hannah?
No hands are up. Oh, wait, Jim just raised his.
say again.
Jim, he just raised his hand.
Okay,
Hello, guys. I'm Jim Costas, North Mason Hill Road. First of all, I just want to thank you very much for kind of going through that report with the the grandstand. Yes, I give the fire marshal and all of those guys a huge amount of credit for what they've been doing or trying to do, similar to what you guys have been trying to do before. Unfortunately, this guy may have the same idea of even our tag sale person of being able to just do what they want to do and not accept any reports. But I was just wondering, since we have the record, is there any way maybe next week you can check with the lawyer, but we should have records that there is a certain mortgage holder. I'm not sure if anyone in the state has included them as a carbon copy, but maybe if we could send a letter as a town and just say, we're very concerned with what's happening down there, and we're not able to get them to accept
you can address that.
violations. But I mean, just an idea. I didn't hear you mention it, and I see Tara shaking the head that yes, maybe it's something.
Yeah,
that-
so Jim, real quick, they did send it to the mortgage holder. They also sent it to the solar field management company to make sure they were aware also, because they have a vested interest.
Okay, and have we heard back from them at all?
No,
Oh, okay. But maybe if something is it something we sent? I'm just curious.
no, the Rutland Fire Safety Division
Okay,
said.
well, I was thinking just as a town, maybe we could do that. And just let them know that we're very concerned as a town and everything. And maybe that would get them to reply to us or something. But again, I appreciate what you guys are doing with this. And appreciate all those people that are trying to do with it and the fire commissioner and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Thanks.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. I think that's a question we can ask Bob Fisher. If we can add, the mortgage holder, to our, whatever we send to, Division of Fire and Safety. What do you guys think?
Yeah. All parties
Right.
included.
All parties involved. I mean,
Right.
I think we just asked Bob Fisher to make sure that we can actually do that from the town level. But I think that's a really good idea, Jim. Thank you. Any other public comment, Hannah? No hands? I'll entertain a motion to move into executive for personnel discussion regarding a public official.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Brian, aye.
Mike, aye.
Hi guys, it's Eddie.
Oh, somebody is zooming.
Hi
Okay.
guys, it's Eddie. Hey, it's me outside.
Hey,
I saw you guys were in executive. I just wanted to respect your space. I'm coming inside now.
Okay.
All right, see you there.
Thanks.
I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Brian, I.
Mike, aye. And there will be no action taken tonight. So I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive for personnel discussion with a public official.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Brian, I.
Mike, aye.
Cat TV was back.
We're good? I'll entertain a motion to, come out of executive session for personnel, discussion with a public official.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Brian, I.
Mike, aye. There'll be no action taken tonight at this time. I'll entertain a motion to enter executive for legal.
So moved.
Second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Brian, I.
Mike, aye. I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive for legal.
So moved.
Second
Any
it.
discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Brian, I.
Mike, aye. I have a couple things under public comment. Joel sent us a couple of bids, invitation to bid, for the Furlong Road project and for the, bid for the scrapping of the cat loader. I just need, board's approval to put those out to bid.
So moved on both.
Second it.
Any discussion? He sent those this afternoon.
Yep.
Everybody read them, we're good? I have a motion, I have a second. I did, right? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Brian, I.
Mike, aye. Is there any more public comment, Hannah?
There's anybody else out there, is there?
No hands up.
No hands up.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Brian, I.
Mike, aye. Perfect. Good night, everyone. Good night, Bob.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody,
Thank
good night.
you.